Nosferatu, a symphony of horror. It's the oldest surviving adaptation of Dracula by Bram Stoker, but his widow almost had the film destroyed because she didn't really like it and copyright nonsense, even after they tried changing the characters' names. The film was nearly destroyed until it escaped to America. I say oldest surviving because there's an earlier film called Dracula's Death, which I might return to Lost in the Void to talk about that, if you guys really care. The film's an adaptation of Dracula, so of course it follows Jonathan Harker, also known as Thomas Hunter, as he's sent by Renfield, also known as Knock, like Knock, sent to Transylvania to sell Dracula Carfax Abbey. Dracula, also known as Count Orloff, is this weird bat rat guy who looks nothing like the book description, and he's played by Max Schreck, yes, like the DreamWorks character. If you believe Shadows of the Vampire, he's an actual vampire. Jonathan finds out that Dracula is a vampire, but it's too late. He finds his way to a boat known as the Demeter, and he makes it to London for some fresh blood. Huh! He ties the captain to the mast, or whatever you call the steering wheel to a ship. Renfield's put into asylum by John Stewart, also known as Professor Severs, but in this version, Renfield actually escapes and there is a big chase scene that's honestly probably the highlight of the film. Yeah, how's it going, Touch? There's also a plague going around, which is not in the book. I think it might be symbolism for something. This is Weimar Republic Germany this is being made in. You know, like Dracula's a count feeding on the lower class, like how the German nobility threw the lower class at the meat grinder of war. Lou's telling a Dracula story, and Mina, also known as Loof, sacrifices herself and Dracula burns away in the sun, which was not a thing in the book, actually. Dracula being vulnerable to the sunlight was something invented for the movie. And it's honestly really wild the fact that this is where that comes from and how just prominent it is in vampire media that it wasn't actually in the original book. Dracula was just stronger at night, but this film comes along and changes the entire ethos of vampires. But adaptation points have to be reduced. There's no Quincy, Dracula is not killed by knives, there's not even a Lucy, and somehow there's no Helsing. Well, technically there's Professor Bulward, but he's such a minor part in this film, you might as well have not even bothered calling him Helsing because he's just such a not character. As for Quincy Morris, he really does seem to be the least favorite character in Dracula because he's barely ever adapted. Dracula does not turn into a bat, nor a wolf, nor a mist, but he does turn into rats. Whoa, whoa! But either way, it is a alright adaptation. It has a very eerie, spooky mood to the film. The silent acting's good, the music is good. I love the cinematography with German Expressionism. There's an art movement in 1920s Germany dominated by heavy shadows and warped scenery. It very much did inspire Tim Burton, and I love it. It might not appeal to everyone, but I think people should watch old silent films to see just how people were able to make films without talking, and to see how far filming has come in over 100 years. The film's public domain, and everyone's kind of seen clips from it, such as when Nosferatu's walking through the doorframe and just perfectly fits in it, or when he's going up the stairs. Or at least you know him from SpongeBob. For those who don't want to sit for a silent film, yes, there is a dub. 6.5 out of 10.